When most people think of quadcopters or drones, they think of something like the incredible DJI Phantom. Yet those who want to get some flying practice in before they jump for the big guns may want to try something smaller, and you don't get much smaller than this, the Mota JetJat Nano-C. It's not every day that we review something that could be considered more of a toy than a gadget, but every now and then something cool comes along and we just have to share it, and this is one of those items. The JetJat Nano-C follows the success of the original JetJat Nano, and its appeal doesn't stop at its size. The other reason it's interesting is the price, $50. $50 will buy you what is pretty much a drone, and even better, it even has a built-in camera too. Okay, so some may consider it a small toy rather than a drone, but either way it looks pretty impressive, and if you can fly the JetJat, you can fly a big drone as well, without having to risk a much more expensive machine. The flight dynamics may not be the same, but the basic controls are, so you'll pick up skills like orientation and basic maneuvering. Within the package, users will find the controller unit, alongside a charging cable, some spare props, a 2GB microSD card alongside a USB card reader, a user manual, and the tiny quadcopter itself. Available in black as well as this red, the JetJat Nano-C looks like an extraordinarily small version of a standard quadcopter. Inside the main base is a rechargeable lithium-ion battery that's balanced for accurate flight, and you will find the main power switch and charging port on the centre of one side of the body. On each of the four arms resides small plastic blades tailored for flight. Each of these blades is removable and is designed both to be easily replaced when broken or just to remove any hair and other particles that may have made their way into the mechanism. There are a pair of blue lights at the front of the quadcopter and a pair of red lights at the back, just like larger drones. While it is enjoyable to have a built-in camera, the 0.3 megapixels of resolution that the JetJat Nano-C has is not exactly the best quality available. If you're looking to use the camera beyond the recreational level, you may want to look elsewhere, but if you just want to fly for fun while taking some photos or videos, this unit will have you covered. When activated, images or video are saved onto the included microSD card, which slots into one side of the Nano. As a whole, the unit is tiny, certainly the smallest quad I've flown, but should make for some fun times. The controller unit is equally as small, but still adequately comfortable to use at the same time. This is more or less what you would expect of a drone controller, dual joysticks and a few buttons to switch the controller on or off, as well as take images or start video capture. It feels good in the hand, and while it's a tad small, it doesn't cause issue. The remote is powered by two AAA batteries stored under the rear hatch, and they should last for long periods of time. I'm talking months on end. Nevertheless, when moving your drone around, don't forget the charging cable, as unfortunately there's nowhere to actually store it. This seems to be a bit of a misstep in design because, as you'll see in a bit, the battery life on the JetJat Nano isn't exactly long. Design-wise though, the package seems to tick all the right boxes. Getting the Nano-C in the air is incredibly simple. There are no propellers to assemble, no GPS satellites to sync to, no Wi-Fi to pair with, no apps to download. Just flip one switch on the drone, another on the remote, and you're pretty much ready to go. One controller stick handles throttle, which controls altitude. A second joystick controls turns. This mirrors the controllers of bigger drones, one big reason the Nano is handy for practicing. Flight dynamics don't translate perfectly between a small craft and a larger one, but the basics are still there. In fact, get ready to spend quite a bit of time practicing before you really figure out how to control the Nano, and sadly, while flying little drones will give you valuable practice for flying larger ones, the opposite is completely untrue. Despite experience flying larger drones, I needed a few hours of practice to get the hang of this little one. The difference is little drones lack the self-stabilization feature of larger, more expensive models. Without your constant input, they drift with every breeze and twitch of your thumbs. That's one reason it makes you a better pilot. It forces you to think about everything until you master the controls and flying becomes second nature. Thankfully though, the odd crash won't faze the Nano, it's really quite robust. Those looking for some more advanced flight modes with more control can click the left stick, which will cycle between beginner, intermediate and advanced modes. Clicking the right stick followed by a direction will flip the drone for aerial stunts, but it is quite difficult to get the hang of. Most of the time I found myself crashing the drone into a wall or the ground after this sort of flip, as it was difficult to quickly stabilise the drone in time. Flight speed is impressive and makes the drone look more like a dragonfly or some other large flying insect because of its speed and precision. Flying the unit outside is doable as long as there's not a lot of wind, as the unit is far too light to fight in almost any kind of wind at all without being completely overpowered. Flying indoors is much more suited under most conditions. When it comes to video capture, as you'll see from these examples, it's not brilliant. Resolution is fixed at 640 by 480, but then again when you consider the size of the drone and the fact that it's more a toy rather than a professional level aerial filming platform, you appreciate what the tiny box of tricks can achieve. Since the remote is powered by two AAA batteries, you're looking at pretty insane battery life on that, and you'll likely not have to change these out for months or so at a time. The drone itself is a different story though. It's rated for around 4 minutes of flight time, and I found that to be pretty much dead on accurate. Charging takes around 20 minutes or so, which is unfortunate since it's such a short flight time. Aside from the limitations that the size and weight impose, this is surely the largest negative aspect of the drone. There's no way to make this battery life any longer either because of its size and weight requirements, so what you see is really what you get. For $50 you're getting a drone that's incredibly portable, but without simple storage of the USB charging cable you're going to run out of battery quick. This is still a fun toy, no doubt, and while it won't link to your smartphone or take superb video when flying high, it will certainly give you a few minutes of fun when used. Video quality is adequate, not great, but respectable considering the unit's size, and the only downside I can find is the battery life, which can't really be helped. Considering this isn't a dangerous drone at all and there's no danger of harm from the propellers, indoor use is probably the way to go. What's unique about this tiny quadcopter is the incredibly small size and stature of it all, while maintaining the control you would expect from a drone. If you're looking for a way of becoming a better drone pilot without flying your expensive drone into a tree, the Nano-C is a great way to practice. It's also just plain fun to fly.